we got this concerned citizen, which managed to spark a somewhat viral trend on Twitter. And he basically screenshots an interaction with Steam support. He contacts Steam support saying that he's got a quick question. He doesn't plan on dying anytime soon. But when he does die, could the ownership of his Steam account be transferred via a will? Thank for any answer to this. And Steam responds saying that unfortunately Steam accounts and games are non-transferable. Steam support can't provide someone else with access to the account or merge its contents with another account. So this is a very interesting question because, when my grandparents died, they left me an entire library of books, which I would consider to be very valuable. And it's also, the interesting gesture. It's like the knowledge and the things that my godparents collected when they were alive is now passed on to me. But we do live in the age of the internet, and Steam aside, there are many programs which allow you to collect stuff that you purchased over the years. And it seems that the answer in most of these cases is that yes, you cannot actually pass them by to someone else. Now, there were a lot of people in the chat, and they tried to come up with various solutions, such as, you can obviously share your password. You can obviously do certain things so that even if they can't legally own the games, they can access it. And that's pussyfooting around the issue because while it is true, obviously if you have a kid, you can give him your Steam password. There are situations where the father may not even expect to die, they die in a car crash or something, and it's not about Steam, it's about all of these things, all of these libraries, these digital libraries that we own. And if you haven't shared the password, well, good luck, right? There's no laws regulating this because the internet is quite young. This is not something that our parents had to deal with. If that happens, then Steam support will not help you with getting the account back. And then there's also the question of support itself, right? Even if, let's say, the person leaves their password in the will, if something happens, let's say the inheritor loses the password or someone hacks the account, you are not able to contact Steam support because you are not that guy. And, even if you have, his contact information and whatever he used in order to register the account, at some point, someone at Steam support will notice that the person is 130 years old. So, they may actually just refuse to give you service. And then you also notice the legality of it. If they actually say that you do not own the account, at any point, they may say, all right, well, if the account is over 100 years old, we are going to delete it because, no one is that old. We do not allow people to transfer the account. We do not people allowed to transfer the games, right? So the thing is, I do believe that most companies, if pressured, would be able to create an inheritance option, which I do believe the account owner should decide if they want it or not. Maybe some people do not want someone to go through their email account, do not want someone to actually own their games. If you have a very ungrateful child, someone that, when you are old and sick and dying, they refuse to visit, they refuse to call, they showed no interest, maybe they even hate you, I think it's up to the person to decide what they want to do with their goods, so there should be an option that if you don't want your stuff to be inherited, you should be able to click it. Maybe you don't want your family to go through your emails. I don't know. Maybe you cheated and you have 7 bastards and you don't want your ex-wife to. I have no idea. But I do think that it is on the person owning the digital data to be able to choose whether or not they want it shared. And then, of course, is the sharing itself. I do think that companies would probably allow if someone was to leave an inheritor, right? You have 4 or 5 kids, one of them creates an account, maybe even the option to share the games amongst them. Because the thing is, most of these games would be so old that people wouldn't buy them anyway. It's not like Steam would be losing money because someone, would have chosen to purchase Black Mesa But they're not anymore. Like, no, most of this thing would probably be symbolic, you know, like, oh, my dad passed away. These are his game library. Like, let me look through it and I'll see what he played. Oh, this game is kind of old, but it's interesting. You know, it's probably something like that. So I don't see the companies actually losing money over it. I'm actually surprised that email companies don't do this, because emails are very important, especially when it comes to recovering passwords from other things. So, like, again, if the person dies, and you do have the password for their Steam account or World of Warcraft account or whatever, and you get hacked, if you don't have access to the original email, well, there's not much you can do. Especially that after the person dies, usually their phone gets disabled, so you can't use the two-factor authentication system. There's a lot of things that are going on. But to also defend the company and play devil's advocate for a little bit here, how does one actually prove that the account owner has passed away? Now, of course, you can have like a death certificate, right? So you email it to Steam, I suppose. But how does Steam knows that it's legit? Like, Steam doesn't have the capability of validating whether or not it's a real thing. Like, take into account there's people from all over the world that own Steam accounts. Like, how do I know how a Zimbabwe death certificate looks like? How do I know if it's legit or not? I mean, it would cost the company, I suppose, a lot of money. So if you have like a hacker, and the hacker gets your account and uses this feature in order to like change it and pass all the games to another account, how do you get the games back? Because Steam would say, well, yeah, but like you passed away. And it's like, no, I'm alive. Right? So now you're clogging in their support with this problem. So it's not as easy as people think. Like even though it's common sense and even though it should be easy to implement, I can see the hurdles. However, even with the hurdles, I still believe that it should be done. I still believe that they should find the system in which if a person dies and they can prove that they died, then they should be able to name one inheritor that would benefit from having access to that account. And of course, this should apply to emails, this should apply to Steam library, this should apply to absolutely everything that the person has an account and they want the person to inherit it. I mean, you know, if banks can do it, I'm pretty sure that Steam can do it as well. Let me know what you guys think, and if you like the channel, please consider supporting. There's a link that takes you to my Subscribestar, another link that can take you to my PayPal, and most importantly, a link that takes you to my live stream. Yeah, I live stream every day. You can interact with me. I don't know why you would want to do that, but you can if you want. So, I'll see you guys later. Take care.